Ladies and gentlemen, it finally happened. The Democrats' worst nightmare just came true, and Hakeem Jeffries is losing his mind on live television. Tonight, the North Carolina GOP didn't just redraw a few lines on a map, they flipped the entire game board red. That's right, guys. One seat, that is all it took. One seat that now puts President Trump's House majority on solid ground, and it sends Washington's Democrats in the absolute panic mode. I mean, you could see it in Hakeem Jeffries' face. The shouting, the finger pointing, the meltdown that's going viral across America right now. He called it a rigged map. Republicans call it partisan, not racist. And the truth, it is a strategic masterpiece, guys. Drop a rigged if you thought it was rigged. Drop a racist if you thought it was racist, guys, because what just happened in North Carolina isn't politics as usual. It is the first domino in a national red wave stretching from Raleigh, North Carolina to Washington, D.C. Buckle up, guys, because we're breaking down exactly how this GOP outsmarted the Democrats, why Hakeem Jeffries snapped, and what this really means for Trump's power through 2029. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get ready, guys, because what you're about to hear, this absolutely changes everything. So, folks, this isn't some quiet backroom policy tweak at all. Way bigger than that. In fact, this is a political earthquake. Tonight, the North Carolina GOP has done what the media swore could never happen again. They redrew the lines and they flipped the map red. One district, just one, was all it took to tilt the House back toward President Trump's America First agenda. Now, that single seat now cements a working majority, giving Trump breathing room to push tariffs, tax relief, and border control without begging for Democrat cooperation. And Washington felt this instantly. Phones in D.C. lit up. I'm talking about party operatives scrambled. Democrats called it an assault on democracy. But check this out. Patriots across the South called it what it truly is, a correction. The red wave isn't coming. It's here, early, organized, and unstoppable. Drop a red wave down below, folks, if you feel me on that. So what started in Raleigh tonight is echoing through every swing state legislature in America. North Carolina just proved it. The map has changed and the balance of power just flipped. And nobody took it harder than Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, you can see it. Jaw tight, voice trembling, eyes locked on reporters as he basically called the new map a rigged Republican power grab. He ranted that democracy was under siege. But the truth, guys, what's under siege is his control. Now, Jeffries' outrage wasn't about fairness. It was about fear. Fear that Trump's second term ground game just pulled the rug out from under the Democrat machine. He pounded the podium, shouted about voter suppression, and then stormed off mid-question when a journalist reminded him that Democrats did the same thing in Maryland and Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not leadership. That is panic. I mean, you could hear it in Hakeem Jeffries' tone. The calm facade is gone because deep down, Jeffries knows exactly what this shift means. 4 more years of Trump-backed dominance and no way to stop it from the minority bench. The meltdown, it was the moment that the mask finally slipped. Now ask yourself this. Is your Medicare plan helping your retirement or is it hurting it? Now, the wrong plan eats away at your savings year after year. That's why I partner with Chapter. They make sure that Medicare strengthens your retirement instead of draining it. Now, one of our viewers, she said, Chapter saved me thousands. My Medicare plan finally works for me now. So let me ask, do you want your retirement drained or you want to do what most people are already doing and protect it? Now, most people are dialing the phone number right there on the bottom of your screen or they're visiting askchapter.org/Ron. The phone number again is 909-563-8279. Now, let's break down exactly how this went down, okay? Because it was brilliant. The North Carolina Senate Elections Committee voted to approve the new congressional map using its simple majority rule. No endless court dates, no filibusters, just precision execution. Now, here's the real kicker, guys. Under state law, Governor Josh Stein can't veto it. Zero power. Republicans hold both chambers, which means for the first time in decades, the GOP has total control over the map. Senate President Phil Berger, he said it best. We are protecting President Trump's agenda. Translation, this isn't just about lines on a map. This is about locking in representation that reflects the voters who actually show up. The new split, 11 Republican districts, only 3 Democrat strongholds left. That is the biggest GOP margin in North Carolina history. Guys, this is epic. This isn't an accident. This is strategy. Every district redrawn tonight strengthens Trump's hand in Congress, and it weakens the left's grip on Washington. And so the moment the map dropped, the left exploded. CNN rolled out their race panels. MSNBC rolled out the tears. Democrats screamed racism faster than they can open up a lawsuit. But the GOP's answer hit even harder. It's partisan, not racist. Those 5 words went viral overnight. Now, here's why it stung so badly. Because they know it's true. The North Carolina legislature didn't use racial data. They didn't draw by skin color. They drew by party lines. That's politics. It's not prejudice. Even the Princeton gerrymandering project admitted the maps were more partisan, but they couldn't call them illegal. So the left doesn't hate unfairness. They hate losing control. That's the truth, okay? So when Democrats carve up California, they call it equity. When Republicans balance out North Carolina, they call it suppression. Sorry, folks, that double standard doesn't fly here anymore. In fact, the GOP played the game by the rules, and this time they played it better. And just when you thought that the meltdown couldn't get any worse, the House floor erupted. Right there in the chamber, Hakeem Jeffries and the Republican Congressman Mike Lawler, they went head-to-head in a screaming match that shook the whole room. It started when Democrats demanded an emergency hearing over the so-called rigged North Carolina map. Well, Lawler fired back, calling it exactly what it is: sour grapes from a party that can't win elections without rewriting the rules. Jeffries lost it. Cameras caught him pointing, shouting, even slamming the desk. Staffers had to step in. And when Democrats spun it as passion, everybody already knew what it really was. It was panic. The showdown became the perfect picture of Washington in 2025. President Trump's America First, Republicans pushing forward with confidence, and Democrats throwing tantrums to hide their fear. Now, when the dust settled, Lawler didn't just win the argument. He exposed just how fragile the Democratic narrative had become. Jeffries didn't lose his temper. He lost control. And so what's happening in North Carolina right now, this is just the opening battle, because right now, the redistricting war, it is spreading. Look at Florida, South Carolina, Texas. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Republican-led legislatures, they're all drawing up their own maps to protect the America First majority and fortify Trump's next 4 years. Meanwhile, Democrats are watching their old strongholds collapse. You guys remember California's Prop 50, Gavin Newsom's grand plan to cement Democrat rule forever? Well, it's falling apart. The independent commissions that they bragged about have turned into bureaucratic messes. Now, for decades, the left used redistricting as their secret weapon, cutting, carving, and calling it equity. But the GOP finally figured it out. They're using the same rules, just executing smarter. The message to Democrats is clear. If you can draw, so can we. Now, for the first time in years, they're realizing that they don't own the map anymore. In fact, the lines have changed, the rules have changed, and America's turning red, one state at a time. Now, I want to talk about the bigger picture, because none of this is random. This redistricting wave, this is part of Trump's chess moves, okay? While Democrats scream on cable news, President Trump has been quietly empowering state legislatures, the real engine of political power. He's not waiting on Washington insiders or some weak Republican consultants. He's putting control back in the hands of the people who actually represent the voters. Every redrawn map adds leverage. Every new seat means less compromise with globalists, lobbyists, and career bureaucrats. Trump even said it himself at his last rally. This is a victory for fair representation and America First. And he's right. These new districts, they don't just protect conservative voices, they protect your vote. More red seats means faster action on tariffs, energy independence, border security, and tax cuts. So this isn't chaos. This is strategy. And once again, Trump played 5 moves ahead while the Democrats didn't even realize that they were on the board. Now, here is what's absolutely hilarious. The same Democrats who were crying voter suppression today, they were cheering redistricting when they did it for California, when they did it for Illinois and for Maryland. So when they slice up the maps to guarantee blue seats, they call it equity, right? But when Republicans rebalance it, all of a sudden it's an attack on democracy. Give me a break. This isn't about fairness. This is about power. They don't want competitive elections. They want permanent control. And the American people are starting to see right through it. We're getting smarter, period. Every poll now shows trust in the Democratic Party at record lows. Even independents are waking up to the game. One set of rules for them, another for everybody else. Now, Democrats, they spent decades engineering the system, rigging the system in their favor. But now the Republicans are beating them at their own playbook. They're panicking. This is why Hakeem Jeffries is screaming, not because of fairness, but because the mask has finally come off. Now, here's where the movement gets exciting, because the fight isn't just in Congress. This fight is happening on the ground too. Across America, conservatives are taking back their school boards, their state houses, their governor's mansions. This is grassroots power. Local voices rewriting the script from the bottom up. Look at Colorado, right? Where Patriot Victor Marx is running on law and order, election integrity, and faith-based leadership. It's not some DC insider. He is a husband, he's a veteran, and a fighter who can't be bought. These state level wins, these are the building blocks of a red America. Every county flipped, every school district reclaimed, every small victory adds up to a national transformation. Democrats once believed that they could control every lever of government from Washington. Patriots just like you who are watching the show right now proved otherwise. They thought that they owned the map, but we just took it back, one precinct at a time. That's not theory. That is a revolution built from the local level up. Now, guys, right on cue, the corporate media is absolutely losing it, okay? You got MSNBC called North Carolina's red map the end of democracy. CNN brought on 6 analysts to cry about extremist overreach. But guess what, guys? Their ratings spiked. The outrage that they feed on is the same outrage that keeps proving Trump right. Meanwhile, you got conservative media. So conservative media is celebrating strategy and results. Patriotic hosts are breaking down the numbers, showing how the GOP played by the rules and still won. Even liberal commentators are accidentally admitting that Republicans out-organized them. And you can't make it up, guys. So while the networks scream anti-democratic, voters in the South, they're lining up to register Republican. Now, you got Democrats melting down on camera while Trump's approval surges past 60%. I don't know about you, but this is poetic. The louder the media screams, the more America tunes them out. Their entire narrative is collapsing. And this time they can't spin their way out of this. So let's zoom out for a second, because this fight over redistricting isn't just about North Carolina. It's about the soul of the republic. Under President Trump, the power dynamics have shifted. The bureaucrats, the career politicians, the elite consultants, they're no longer calling the shots here. The American voter is, and that terrifies the establishment. Democrats keep pretending that they're scared of unfair maps. No, what they fear is fairness itself. For decades, they have engineered systems that guarantee their own dominance. And now that Trump's America is restoring the balance, they call it dangerous. The truth is simple, guys. When power returns back to the people, the insiders panic. That's what's happening right now. What's happening right now is accountability, raw and overdue. This isn't extremism, it's equilibrium. When Jeffries screams about democracy, what Hakeem Jeffries really means is that this is the end of his monopoly. For the first time in years, people are back in charge, and Walmart Obama can't stop it, and they're giving that power up again. So here's where we stand. Hakeem Jeffries, Timu Obama, he can scream all he wants. The media can spin, the lobbyists can whine, but they can't stop what's coming. The red wave isn't a theory anymore, it is reality. North Carolina lit the fuse, and now every state is watching. But Patriots, this is where you come in, guys. We got this, all right? Keep showing up at the local meetings, keep voting in the primaries, keep calling out corruption whenever you see it, because Trump's success, our success, depends on vigilance. The left built their entire empire through quiet manipulation. We rebuild America through bold participation. You guys see the difference. So stay loud, guys. Stay proud, because they can melt down, they can riot, they can rant, but they can't rewrite the truth. The map has just flipped, the tide has turned, and a red America is rising. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure every patriot that you know hears this message tonight. This isn't the end of the story. This is the beginning of America's comeback. We'll see. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below.